This is the injury report presented by NYU Langone Health. Yankees infielder DJ LeMahieu has been sidelined since March 1st after suffering a calf strain in his second at-bat of spring training, and now he's set to start a rehab assignment as early as today. So in today's injury report, we're talking with Dr. Daniel Kaplan, Sports Orthopedic Surgeon over at NYU Langone Health, to see if DJ's body is going to actually hold up for a long Yankee season. Doc, what's going on, man? This is a dude who has been on the shelf since March 1st, but he did complete 3 days of pregame workout, and now he's back in action for a rehab assignment today. Today's April 11th for everyone out there. Does it seem like DJ's on track with his recovery?
He does. So a calf strain refers to an injury of that gastrocnemius muscle. It can range from just a stretch to a partial tear to even a full tear. When they're talking about a partial strain like that, they're really talking about just a stretch. So that typically takes around 6 weeks to heal or so. So if he got injured around March 1st and we're here today at April 11th, I would say he's right on track and should be ready to get going again.
All right, he's right on track, but the fact that he's 36 years old and has a lot of wear and tear on his body, does his age affect his recovery timeline? And could things have been, I guess, quicker or easier if he was one of the younger guys out there? Doc, I'm 40 years old, so choose your words carefully right now.
I was about to say he's 36, I'm 35, so let's cool it on this like geriatric talk, all right? He's just fine, okay? But in all seriousness, that 6 week timeline for a strain, that's like an average. So it's really closer to 3 to 9 weeks, depending mostly on severity, but a little bit on age. So it is multifactorial. As someone who is in his mid 30s or someone talking to someone who's 40, yes, I can tell you, it takes me a little bit longer to recover from something than when I was in his 20s. It's the same for professional athletes. But for this type of injury, I don't think it should be a huge difference.
All right, is there anything that he or the Yankees could do or should do to protect the calf? Again, it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, that's the thing about baseball versus the other ones. 162 games is just a ton. The best thing for these types of injuries, it's all about flexibility. So staying limber, stretching, keeping that muscle loose is important. Foam rolling, the same things that, your third grade coach told you to do before games is still true here. Staying limber is going to make a big difference, not only in terms of getting back to playing right now, but also in terms of prevention of recurrence.
All right, he's set for that rehab assignment today. They're saying he's going to get around 30 to 40 at-bats, and that can kind of mimic what he was going to have during spring training. Doc, we're talking about a dude where, yeah, his age is one thing, but he's also been a guy that's dealt with a number of injuries over the last few seasons. I mean, last year he missed some time with a broken foot and a hip impingement. After he recovers from this calf strain, you think his body can hold up enough for this season for the Yankees to get the most out of him? We're talking about a two-time batting champ. Will he be that DJ LeMahieu again?
The beginning of the season is always filled with these types of muscle strain injuries because, like, as you know, no matter how hard you work in the off season, just there's nothing like real game action. LeMahieu is dedicated to having a great year. He's got incredible medical and training staffs behind him. So there's no reason he shouldn't be able to make a full recovery from this specific injury. I agree with you. It's been a few years since he's been in top form the way he was, 2019, 2020. But I think there's every reason to be optimistic on him. So I'm high on it.
All right, now here goes the $1 million question, and I'm glad that you mentioned that he had an incredible medical and training staff to his leisure. For a non-professional athlete who doesn't play for the Yankees and doesn't have access to a medical staff and other resources like a DJ LeMahieu, how do they recover from this kind of injury? Like, is that timeline pretty much the same?
Yeah, so, great point. That 6 week mark, like I said, is sort of an average. It can go a little lower, can go a little bit higher depending upon severity, but also, just like you said, about what we have around us. So, you and I don't get access to world-class training staff and nutritionists and medical trainers that someone on the Yankees does. So as a result, they tend to recover a little bit faster and have a little slightly lower risk of a recurrent injury. For this specific type, being a calf strain, it probably doesn't make as much of a difference as something more severe like an ACL. So I think that 6 week mark is still probably what I would quote to a patient walking in off the street who had a pickleball injury.
All right. Well, Doc, I have the same recovery timeline as DJ LeMahieu. I may not be able to call the Yankees training staff, but I'll just call one of the doctors from NYU Langone Health, and I'm back out there on the pickleball court like I'm a 22-year-old, baby. Appreciate you hopping on with this, Doc.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Always fun.